current ICTAP, Interoperable Communications Technical Assistance Program efforts. Update you on just a couple of things that are happening in the background related to ICS training. FEMA has announced that there are updates now available for the 2 in-person courses that we love to hate the most, ICS 300 and 400, as well as some changes to ICS 100, 200, 300, and 700. Those updates were as a result of the 2017 update to the National Incident Management System, NIMS. The only reason this is important to you is as we support state-sponsored classes where you have state instructors, October 1, they will have taken the bridge courses for ICS 300 and 400 and essentially recertified to be a state-level instructor. Long-term, we are going to refashion our all hazards incident training courses for the instructors. The intent is to eventually do away with train the trainer for COML, train the trainer for COMT, train the trainer for tactical dispatch to get to a single train the trainer class that would cover all of these functional areas. That work starts after October 1, along with a refresh of the All Hazards Communications Unit Leader course, which we will be undertaking through SAFECOM, the advisory board to ECD, and the Council of Statewide Interoperability Coordinators. Perhaps of interest, we're going to hold a regional communications unit leader train the trainer class. Tentative plan is to hold that in Greater Kansas City, actually in Lee Summit, Missouri, in November timeframe. Invitational travel will be extended to qualified individuals who want to become a COML instructor for the state. More to come, and it will be coordinated with the SWIC. The National Emergency Communications Plan, which is our baseline document that governs how ECD supports state, local, tribal, and territorial activities. The NECP has been officially signed by SAFECOM and NICSWIC, and now moves to the publication stage where it will be released by the Secretary of Homeland Security. Primary changes this year are to incorporate more focus on cybersecurity and some language refreshes, such as talking about operational communications instead of operational communications, which gets confused with operations, to communications capabilities, things like that, little tuning things. There will be a handful of measures that we use to help understand how effective those changes are. And we're actually working with the 56 states and territories on a markers program where we go through 25 baselines to assess where we are in the process. I did one of these with the state of Kansas yesterday, took about an hour, very informative, and it kind of gives the SWIC a checkerboard pattern that says this is an area where focus may be needed, and we think that will be useful down the road. Only other thing I have, and speaking to your CISO, it shouldn't be news. We had a situational alert this morning for a cyber attack, a cyber threat that's already been pretty painful the last couple of days, called Robin Hood, that was sent out to all the carriers and ISPs this morning. Robin Hood is a nasty variant of a ransomware that affected a major Mideastern city yesterday. And my reminder to you to take back to your agencies, how does this stuff get in our door? Typically email. We go for that hurried click on that document or the PDF or that link that we think is important, and suddenly we find we have a problem. So the old guidance about know your poison, know your steps. And if I have any advice for you right now about cyber, right now is a good time to be particularly aware with what we've been seeing with that particular variant this week, actually the last 10 days. Any questions for me?
I'll comment on that. I had some emails that they're getting really smart with the names.
Oh, yeah.
It'll look like a name that you actually know, and then it just doesn't look right. But but if you're clicking through emails, that's what they hope you'll do, right?
I get a countless number of texts lately that are really crafty and well written because my name's been doxed and I'm out in the public domain, and people would just love for me to click on that link. And you too, as your public servants, that's gonna get worse and worse and worse. The most informed thing I can tell you is, if you didn't ask for it, be very suspicious. Yes, sir.
If I may just add one thing too, this is just a comment. I've seen actually websites where you can go to them and type in whose name you want to spoof, what their spoofable email address is, and then type in whatever message you want. And it can just be standard text, or it can include attachments, or it can include active links. There are websites that allow people to do that now, so any Joe
It's for
Jack or
sale.
Shirley can do that.
It's for sale, just like number spoofing. That's the painful part, is you get to the point, or at least I do, that you look at the phone ringing and you go, nah, I'm not gonna answer that. Well, it's a challenge for us, and it's just something we're gonna have to toughen up and figure out a way around. Thank you.
Thanks.